Hey everyone, and welcome back to the SCREENY. With the Dr. Phil show debuting almost 20 years ago, there's no surprise there have been some pretty crazy guests displayed on the show. With this comes a whole lot of couples who enter the stage in preparation to fix their relationships. However, sometimes these people are so insane that even Dr. Phil can't help them out. With that said, here are the most toxic couples that appeared on Dr. Phil. Before we begin, make sure to like the video and subscribe to our channel for more amazing videos about your favorite movies and TV shows. Number 7. Jeremy and Victoria. Once someone believes they have found the one, there's nothing that can get in between them and their significant other. Well, that is besides the obvious things, of course: cheating, addiction, abuse, etc. However, this is not the case seen with Jeremy and Victoria. You see, Jeremy absolutely fell for his lover Victoria, and once he started noticing her dark side, he had already proposed and moved in with her.
Victoria means the world to me. She's the most beautiful woman I've ever met. There's also a dark side when it comes to Victoria.
You're probably thinking, what could possibly be so bad that you'd have to call into the Dr. Phil show if you're deeply in love with her? How about you just hear it from the man himself?
She's punched me, she's kicked me, she's scratched me. She's given me black eyes. She's kicked me in the balls quite a few times.
Jeremy goes on for almost 5 minutes to the producers of the show about how much she attacks him. He even said she has thrown a glass of orange juice while cooking that ended up chipping his front tooth.
She got my PlayStation. She smashed it off the 3rd-story balcony.
He wasn't paying enough attention to me.
Oh,
Her behaviors were so extreme that the police noticed Jeremy's injuries and recognized it was as a result of domestic violence. That same day, they went to Victoria's workplace and arrested her. Despite going to prison for 2 days, her habits haven't changed in the slightest. But Jeremy isn't fearful. Just take a listen to this.
I don't think she'd kill me because she's a vegan, because you know vegans don't like killing things.
While that's undeniably hilarious, that's also quite terrifying. Let's be real, no one is the victim in this relationship, considering they both should have parted ways long ago. Number 6. DeAndre and Autumn. As seen in the previous couple, when assaults are initiated by the woman in the relationship, the man can defend themselves and often leave the situation without any major trauma or emotional confusion. However, when the violence is initiated by the man, it's a whole nother situation. This brings us to DeAndre, a young man who openly admits to being physically abusive towards his girlfriend Autumn.
She was screaming at me, and I choked her. I picked her up, I took her to her room, and I slammed her on her bed. I ended up in jail for aggravated domestic assault.
Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with honesty. However, I don't think I've ever seen someone come off low-key proud of doing such things. Even when talking about his love for Autumn, it's almost like he's making a mockery of the whole situation.
I was on social media scrolling, and I was like, ooh, who is this baddie? I stay with Autumn because she's my homie. For 2, I kind of like crazy girls.
DeAndre was brought to the stage by Dr. Phil and was sat right opposite Autumn's father. We all know how this stuff goes down.
I'll speak for myself because I'm a grown man. By the way, men don't hit women. You understand that?
DeAndre was being called out for his wrongdoing so badly that he tried manipulating the situation and saying Autumn's father was abusive also.
Why do you think it's okay for you to hit your daughter?
My daughter's already come out here and said that that's never happened.
Let's assume, hypothetically, that that's correct. What the hell does that have to do with you doing it? You think that that gives you license to do so?
Dr. Phil sure put him in his place. And let's all hope that DeAndre and Autumn have split up for good. Number 5. Thomas and Victoria. Intimacy and connection with your partner is fundamental for maintaining a successful relationship. And when overlooked, both people in the relationship will tend to feel distanced, lonely, and dissatisfied. A young man, Thomas, called into the Dr. Phil show because his relationship was on ropes for about a year. He mentioned that they haven't been intimate throughout this entire time period. You'd think that'd be the reason for their unstable relationship, but you're wrong. It turns out his girlfriend Victoria has been possessed by demons, and he believes it too.
The first time I heard of anything demonic happening to Victoria, she witnessed a demon or a ghost and ran away out of terror. When she showed up at my house, she was witnessing horns coming out of my head.
This has gotten in the way of every aspect of their lives, and they now devote all their time to analyzing and experimenting with the possession.
I'm an artist by trade, and after discussing the demons with Victoria, we've tried drawing them out.
Obviously, his girlfriend is absolutely crazy, but for him to encourage this behavior and believe in himself, that's got to be the most toxic behavior possible for this situation.
Earlier this year, Thomas sought out an exorcist and eventually convinced me to go.
Maybe Victoria needs a successful exorcism to rid her from these demonic traumas that have been following her ever since she was little.
Dr. Phil stated the last thing they both need is each other, considering they're enabling each other to shut out life completely to focus on their exorcisms that are clearly in their head. Number 4. Marlon and DEDREA. Once a man starts earning a fair share of money, it's common that women start desiring said man romantically. This is seen with Marlon, a husband and father who claims women are now throwing themselves at him due to his looks and success. Don't get it twisted though. He claims he's remained faithful to his wife DEDREA throughout these temptations. However, he told her straight to her face he won't be able to resist any longer unless she improves herself.
Did you say you get hit on 15 times a week and that women would kill to be with you?
If she wants to keep her man and her husband, I expect her to shape up.
What does this mean, you might ask? He wants her to make a complete change. From her hair, her clothing, her style, her social groups, the list goes on. He said he wants her to walk around the house only in lingerie, because that's what a successful man deserves. Oh, and did I mention, he wants her to do all this while raising his children. Obviously, Dr. Phil wasn't in support of Marlon's request at all, and he didn't keep quiet.
That's all I'm asking. It's not a lot.
No, it's not a lot. All you're asking is for her to just forget about what she wants, and you're wanting her to become a Barbie doll for you.
Dr. Phil felt extremely sympathetic towards DEDREA and how she'd be feeling, so he decided to give her a complete makeover all done by professionals.
Not that we really care, but what do you think?
I think she looks amazing.
Thank
Yeah?
I really do, yeah.
Number 3. Brandon and Paige. Whether it be gambling, shopping, social media, technology, alcohol, or illicit substances, active addicts will do anything to get their way. The worst part about those who suffer from addictions is that it's extremely tough for them to return back to old ways, and when they do, relapse is extremely common. For these reasons, Brandon and Paige were called into the Dr. Phil show to discuss their collective issues of addiction to illicit substances. Paige's father specifically called in to save his daughter from Brandon, as he was the one who introduced her to his lifestyle. Since their use began, Paige went from a bright young woman to being arrested 5 times. Brandon and Paige's relationship isn't just toxic due to their collective use. Brandon also physically mistreats Paige. Dr. Phil immediately recognized that if this couple stays together any longer, they would both end up 6 feet under, and so Dr. Phil made them break up on the show, never to be seen again. Number 2. Pablo and Anna. Staying faithful and maintaining honesty are 2 extremely important and essential aspects of sustaining a successful marriage or relationship. This brings us to Pablo, a man who fails at both of these things, yet still appeared on a Dr. Phil episode to discuss his marriage. This may seem like a great first step for him and his wife to work on their relationship. However, it actually uncovered more of his lies and wrongdoings. Pablo's wife Anna called into the show in regards to their relationship, considering Pablo had cheated on her with 2 women. However, Dr. Phil found out that this was untrue. He was actually cheating on her with even more women. Instead of going the easy route and exposing Pablo, Dr. Phil decided to pressure him into admitting the 2 women first.
So there's the one she knows about plus Amanda.
Yeah.
The moment Pablo admits to the initial cheating, Dr. Phil asks this.
Is there anything else?
We all hope Anna has ended things off with Pablo. Not only was he an awful husband, but even on national television he took the entire situation as a huge joke. Number 1. Chuck and Amanda. If there's anything we can learn from this couple, it's that you can never be sure about someone's intentions or their past. This all started when a man by the name of Chuck called into the Dr. Phil show to discuss his rocky marriage with his wife. His wife Amanda was suspecting that Chuck was cheating on her. However, he soon unraveled something even more jaw-dropping. You see, before going on stage, Chuck told one of Dr. Phil's employees a secret that can't be told to anyone. Dr. Phil pressured Chuck to reveal the secret or he'd be kicked off the show, so he ended up giving in and said this.
Years ago, we're talking 2003 maybe was the last time, I had done a few adult movies.
I mean, come on. How could you have lived a life like that before your marriage and not let your wife know? And most of all, how could you try to rekindle that job just a week before appearing on national television to fix your marriage? Yeah, did I mention? He did that too.
I came back to California last night, called the guy to see if I could make a little extra money while I was out here right now.
This weekend?
Yes.
Thank you for watching today's video. Make sure to subscribe to our channel for more videos on your favorite TV shows and tap one of the 2 videos on screen for another amazing video.